Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be yet another celebrity pop culture conspiracy theories video for you guys. Y'all already know I love pop culture. It's probably like one of my favorite things on the planet. Easily, I just love it. And incorporating pop culture and conspiracy theories combine two of my favorite things together. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first conspiracy theory we're going to be talking about has to do with Britney Spears. As you guys probably know, I've been talking about Britney Spears for eons. It feels like it's been many years. I love Britney Spears. I was a big supporter of the Free Britney movement. However, there is quite a lot of stuff going on with Britney on TikTok, and I don't know. I just felt weird, honestly, not talking about it. The theory sounds kind of dramatic, but basically the premise is that Britney Spears has been replaced with AI in a way. There's kind of a lot of theories that go hand in hand with the overall concept that something with Britney Spears is not right, and that is the part that I agree with. I don't know if I believe that she was replaced with AI or that she's dead or anything terrible like that, but I definitely do think that something is wrong. What I will say though is that there was definitely usage of AI on some of Britney's recent posts. It's just clear as day. There is a filter on her face, and a lot of people believe that it is actually someone else completely posing as Britney and using an AI filter to mask the fact that it's not Britney. I don't necessarily know what I think is true in that scenario because, like, it's clear that there is a filter over it. And I wouldn't say it's clear that it's not Britney in general with just like another face app filter over it, but I will say it's clear that there is definitely a filter. I don't know who's under it. I don't know if it's Britney. I don't know if it's someone pretending to be Britney to trick us all into thinking that she's okay. I will say that something funky is 100% going on. A lot of people have been talking about what's potentially going on with Britney Spears ever since her conservatorship ended, honestly. So if you somehow don't know and you've been living under a freaking rock, Britney Spears was in a 12-year conservatorship where her father owned everything that she did. Essentially, basically, she couldn't do anything, even go for a simple walk without consulting her conservator, which was her father. That's really what the Free Britney movement was all about, because conservatorships are typically used for people who are completely unable to take care of themselves, essentially, and it didn't feel like that was something that was going on with Britney. During the time that she was in her conservatorship, she released several albums, she did a Vegas residency tour, she was touring, singing on stage every single day, and it's just like, someone who is in a conservatorship is unable to make their own basic life decisions. And a lot of people feel like that's not what Britney felt like to them. That being said, there's been a lot of speculation about what is going on with Britney, and it has been so much over the past year since her conservatorship ended. And honestly, I didn't really talk that much about it because I didn't really believe any of it until now. I don't know. I now think that there might be something seriously wrong. To me, the real question remains why? Why are they, generating AI on Britney's posts? Like, it doesn't seem to make sense. It's kind of actually been quite a long time since Britney has been seen by the paparazzi, which makes no sense because she recently posted that she was going to New York City. The reason that I'm going to say this makes no sense is because New York City is a hard place to not get paparazzi'd, I would say. How do you hide? Like, you literally have to go outside. The fact that there was not a single photo of Britney Spears paparazzi'd in New York City is honestly unheard of. So the general consensus that I've been seeing on TikTok is that there is something wrong. And one theory is that Britney has died and been replaced with an AI clone. I don't necessarily think this is true. Another theory is that Britney is actually in rehab currently and is getting help for everything that she has gone through in the past and everything that she is continuously going through. They don't want the public to know that. They're still pretending to post as Britney. This to me makes slightly more sense, but we'll keep going with theories. Other people really seem to blame her husband, Sam. A lot of people think that something is suspicious with Britney's husband, Sam. And I kind of agree to an extent. Like, I'm not sure because, like I said, I don't know these people in real life. I have no clue. But what I will say is something was extremely off about Britney's wedding, in my opinion. I just felt like the people, like the guests, made no sense to me. I still don't get it. I don't understand why was Selena Gomez there, but why was Drew Barrymore there? Why was Madonna there? It was just a bunch of people all in one room that I felt like didn't mix or know each other prior, so like I just didn't understand how we got from point A to point B, you know what I mean? Again though, I don't know these people, so maybe they could be really good friends in real life, but something about the wedding just seemed weird and staged, and a lot of people feel that way. On a more real level, what I kind of believe happened, Britney was being pumped with several drugs during her conservatorship that potentially she didn't need. I'm gonna say she didn't need them. I'm not a doctor, so actually I have no right to say she didn't need them. Britney herself claimed that she was forced to take medication that she didn't need, so we'll go based on what Britney said. If you take medication that you're not supposed to be taking, there is always a chance that you can have drug-induced psychosis. And I'm not saying that that's what Britney has. Being forced to take medication that's not needed is definitely like not a great thing. Severe medications, like probably whatever they had Britney on to keep her calm, to keep her quiet, would have been extremely severe and something that she did not need, and would probably permanently alter her brain chemistry, which is very scary. Like that could cause permanent damage. I don't know, because sometimes I see Britney's posts and I'm like, she's just like a 40-year-old mom. Like she's just posting like weird shit on Facebook. Like that's just how she is. She just is famous. But then some things that I see, I just am like, I don't know. I do feel like something might be wrong. I'm hoping that she has enough people around her that are, you know, there to protect her and make sure that they can do everything in their power to make sure everything's okay. But I will say that since Britney has been freed from her conservatorship, there have been some concerning things that I feel like she's posted, but again, I also don't know what it is like for the amount of trauma that girl has been through. She might just be a little different than what we remembered Britney being like. So I think that is also an important thing to talk about, is we don't really know the true story and the full story behind all of this, and so it's important to try to be as respectful as possible, because I do think that not having basic human rights for like 12 years would definitely like fuck you up. Also, having to take medication that you do not need can literally mess with your brain so hardcore. It's scary. As for the AI stuff, the only thing I can think of that is like a logical explanation, Britney herself like was just using one of those like face app filters to like look younger, or like look like she was wearing makeup when she wasn't. I don't know. That's like one thing I can't really explain, and I would love to hear your guys' theories on why that is, because I don't personally think that Britney's like missing or dead or anything terrible like that. I do think that there is some oddities to the entire story, and it's maybe just one of those things that we'll never really know the full answer to, which really sucks. I would really love to hear your thoughts though. I'm happy that Britney has been freed from her conservatorship, but if there are other people in her life who are equally as bad as her parents were, like I hope that she has good people surrounding her that can get her away from that. We just really don't know the full story, and I don't know if we ever will. I don't know. Like, do I think something's wrong on the surface? Yes. It appears that there is something wrong on the surface. We don't really know. All right, the next conspiracy theory we're going to be talking about has to do with Post Malone. There is a conspiracy theory that Post Malone is cursed. I kind of believe it, and Post believes it himself. In June of 2018, Post Malone was actually featured on Ghost Adventures, which is a show where people go ghost hunting. The host of the show, Zach, brought him to the haunted museum that's in Las Vegas, Nevada. So this museum has a box that is known to be the most haunted object in the world. This box was actually what inspired the movie The Possession. Don't like that. This box also is normally covered in a protective casing, but since Post Malone's a celebrity, obviously he can't be affected by a curse, so he was allowed to see it to the naked eye. This box is apparently so intense that you have to sign a waiver and be over the age of 18 just to go in the room with it. So Post was definitely freaked out at this museum, you can see in the footage, but there's also this one point where Zach actually physically touches the box, which is a big no-no. You're not supposed to touch it. But as he touches it, Post grabs Zach's shoulder, and it's believed that the curse went into Post through Zach. Post and Zach both claim in the moment where they were touching the box kind of simultaneously they saw a dark figure and just felt a very dark energy around them. And people believe that Post Malone has actually been cursed ever since. The next morning, Post woke up with unexplained bruises all over him, which is really freaking freaky. But then fast forward a couple months later, in August of 2018, you guys probably remember Post Malone's private jet had to make an emergency landing, but that sounds like less of a big deal than it really was. 2 of the tires blew out and they were both on the left side, so like the plane couldn't land, but it was just kind of circling around, like not knowing what to do. It was really freaky. I remember everyone on Twitter was like tracking his plane. It was intense. Luckily, he was okay, but just 2 weeks later, he got into a really bad car accident and again was luckily all right. And then another few weeks later, his house was broken into and burglarized. Post Malone himself believes that this string of bad luck actually came from the box, which is fucking freaky. But what do you think? Do you think Post Malone is cursed from this? Do you think it was just a little string of bad luck? Or do you think he's still cursed to this day? Let me know. All right, the next conspiracy theory that we're going to be talking about has to do with the royal family. I find the royal family to be incredibly interesting. You know, the monarchy is something that has existed for so long. Naturally, there's going to be some things that pop up and a lot of suspicion and conspiracy surrounding it. There has been a viral video of the royal family coronation. At King Charles's coronation, there are many people claiming that this figure behind the ceremony looks like the Grim Reaper. This has sort of been debunked, but I don't really believe it. So a lot of people are saying that it's actually a religious verger. I mean, if you look at what the figure is wearing versus what the religious verger wears, it's kind of similar, but like I still feel like it has a dark energy. Like, I don't know. Let me know what you think about it, because I've heard the thing, you know, like, okay, yeah, it's a religious verger. Something about that picture still fucking creeps me out. A lot of people think that it's the Grim Reaper. A lot of people think that something is going to happen to King Charles. I do feel like, not because of death, but because like he's gonna be ran out of there or something. Like, I feel like he's gonna quit. I don't know if you can quit, but I feel like he's gonna quit, because I do see Prince William being the king like kind of soon, but I don't think it's because Charles will like die. Like, I just feel like something's gonna happen. Some information, I think maybe even about Diana's death, will be released. Like, King Charles had something to do with it. That gets him knocked out of the king's position, back to being a little prince. Or will he be anything? I don't know. Like, I feel like if you killed a princess, like, you don't deserve to be the king, but you also like don't deserve to be the prince still, you know? I just feel like William's time is coming soon. Like, I think he's gonna be king soon. People think that it's because the Grim Reaper was there to get Charles. A lot of other people think that that was Queen Elizabeth. I'm like, what? And then a lot of other people think it was Princess Diana. I don't know what the hell I think it is, but it had a dark energy and I don't like it. All right, the next conspiracy theory we're gonna be talking about has to do with Miss Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift, and I honestly find it a red flag when a man says that they hate Taylor Swift, because I'm just like, what do you mean? You can like not listen to her music, but if you hate Taylor Swift, that's suspicious in my opinion. But anyway, Taylor Swift's Midnight's album released in October of 2022. I had never really thought of this theory, but I saw it recently and I was like, damn, that's kind of true. And it's that people believe that Karma is about Kanye West. You might be thinking, why the hell would she be writing music about an old ass feud? And the answer is that girl's literally a Cancer moon. She's definitely writing music about an old ass feud. Like, come on. I mean, me too, girly. I'm not writing music, but I am a Cancer moon and I hold on to things. So other than speculation, there's actually some evidence behind this that makes me believe that it's true. I mean, like, solely based on lyrics alone, like, it makes sense that that could be about Kanye West, but like, not even him specifically, but kind of anyone who has wronged Taylor in her life, or, you know, however you want to look at it. Any haters could be like literally the media itself. But specifically about Kanye, on October 6th of 2016, we all remember Kanye's original demo of Famous released this day. This is what really ignited the fire between Kanye Taylor and Kim Kardashian. Pretty wild event, if I will say so myself. And it was kind of the turning point because it seemed like the Kanye Taylor feud was like kind of over because it happened in like 2008, the VMAs. So then Kanye just brought it back up and it really ignited the whole thing again. Then on October 6th of 2022, that's when Taylor Swift announced the song Karma. Blondie is just like known for remembering dates. Like there's no way that that's a coincidence. There's just no way. Nothing that girl does is a coincidence. I swear to God. Although sometimes I'll see TikToks being like, Swifties are so delulu, like with all of this stuff, like Taylor's not even thinking about it. I'm like, that's also a possibility. I don't know. Also, Look What You Made Me Do is famously about her feud with Kanye. Lyrics literally say the world moves on, another day, another drama. Not for me. All I think about is karma. I believe it. Just like I said, this girl's a Cancer moon. We think about things that happened 20 years ago. C'est la vie. But what do you guys think? Are there any other songs on Midnights that you think are about Kanye? Honestly, I just realized the Reputation, Taylor's version, is going to be fucking insane. I just feel like there's going to be so many songs from the vault that are about her whole situation with Kim and Kanye. It's going to be crazy. It would be so iconic. Okay, so like obviously Kim has been going through the ringer with Kanye like over the past year since their divorce. It would be so iconic if Kim and Taylor squashed their beef by having Kim feature on a fucking song in Reputation, Taylor's version. I'm calling it now. How iconic would that be? I know Kim Kardashian doesn't really sing, but she does have a song and it would just be iconic and like funny. That would be crazy. All right, the next conspiracy theory we're going to be talking about has to do with James Dean. So this conspiracy theory has honestly been going around since the 1950s and it seems like it could be true. So a lot of people think that James Dean's death was rather suspicious and I have to agree. But there are a few conspiracy theories as to what they think actually happened. So on September 30th of 1955, James Dean was killed in a car crash on the way to a car racing event. He was only 24 years old at the time. There's quite a few inconsistencies about what exactly happened the day that James Dean died. Many sources claim that the nurses on the ambulance ride were actually able to find a weak pulse. Other sources claim that he died instantly from the crash. It was also reported that James Dean was speeding 85 miles per hour at the time. However, the officer present at the scene of the crime, after looking at the damage on the car and on James Dean, claimed that it was likely that he was maybe going 55 miles per hour, which is a pretty big discrepancy from 85. Several doctors have also claimed that James Dean should have survived the car crash, especially because he was reported to have been alive once emergency services arrived. Like, if that were true, it makes no sense why he would have died, apparently. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. So what do all of these discrepancies mean? Like, what could have actually happened? There's a few conspiracy theories. One simple one being that James Dean decided to fake his death because he was tired of the obsessive fans and being famous in general. According to the theory, James Dean felt very trapped by fame and just simply wanted to find a way to get out of it. So he decided to fake his death, which would account for the discrepancies. James Dean at the time had just bought this Porsche Spyder. He was super excited about it. He was really into cars. A lot of people believe that it was actually cursed. When James Dean first purchased the car, he showed it off to a fellow actor, and this actor literally said, that car has like a creepy dark energy around it, and if you drive that, you'll be dead within a week. And he was. After the accident, a man named Esrich actually bought the destroyed car. He used various parts of the car to kind of trick out him and his friend's car. When they were finished working on the cars, they took the cars on a race. Esrich's friend rammed into a tree and died instantly. Esrich was injured after the car flipped multiple times. A man named George Barris was the one who actually bought the car after that. He would display the car at various events around the country. Early in 1960, the car supposedly disappeared. During the transport of the car from a show in Florida, it was just never seen again. I think the theory of the car being cursed is pretty interesting just because there's kind of a lot of evidence to back it up. Any other people actually believe that James Dean was killed by the American government. I think this theory is slightly interesting, although I don't think that James Dean really had too much of like a wave in like politics and stuff. I could see where people get the conspiracy theory that John Lennon like was murdered by the American government, because I do think that he had a sway in politics and was trying to promote anti-war while the government was trying to go to war. So I could understand why they would want him gone. But James Dean was kind of known, he was known as America's rebel. Like, that was kind of his vibe. I haven't really seen much evidence of the government wanting him gone, so I don't know. I think I believe the car being cursed the most, so let me know what you guys think. All right, the next conspiracy theory has to do with celebrity skin suits. It sounds so dumb to me, but I also kind of believe it. I've seen so many people talk about the theory that skin suits are a thing and there are celebrities pretending to be other celebrities, or just people in general not being who they say they are. It's a creepy concept overall for sure, don't get me wrong. However, I'm not sure that I fully believe it. I saw this theory a bit while I was watching Family Guy. It was like an episode, just watch the clip.
Fred Savage?
Wait a minute. You're Rush Limbaugh and Michael Moore?
Yes, I am. Also, Tony Danza, Cameron Manheim, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Kevin Nealon, John Forsythe, and Metallica drummer Lars Ulrich.
I have found it to be interesting ever since, but I kind of forgot about it until I saw a TikToker, Patty Pop Culture, love him, talk about this on his channel. And it was pretty interesting. The concept goes that there are people who use skin suits essentially to assume different identities. Michael Jackson is actually known, like, factually to have done this in several different music videos. He would always wear these crazy disguises and it would be insane. Like, he looked completely different, like absolutely unrecognizable, which is crazy because he was probably one of the most famous people on earth. And who knows how many times that man used disguises without us knowing. Like, you never know. I guess if you're one to believe that the Illuminati is celebrities only and is run by celebrities and public figures, like the presidents and stuff, whatever, I guess it's an interesting concept because, you know, they would probably want to keep it as small as possible. Having, you know, one celebrity actually be another celebrity too, wearing a different suit, I guess kind of makes sense. I don't know. To me, the skin suit theory creeps me out, not in the celebrity aspect. Like, yes, Ellen DeGeneres could actually be Niall Horan in a skin suit, but like, what does that do? You know what I mean? To me, it goes deeper than that of stuff that creeps me out, is because I feel like if they did have this technology, which they do, I mean, like, prosthetics is totally a thing, I feel like they're using it for creepier, darker purposes. What exactly? I'm not sure, because I feel like in person you can really tell when someone's wearing a prosthetic. But then again, I've never really seen like that amazing of a prosthetic like up close and personal. Obviously, there are people and billions of dollars that could go into it that could create really crazy prosthetics that look so real even to like the naked eye, which that would be creepy because I don't know exactly what they would use it for. A lot of people think that Joe Biden uses it. I don't know. I mean, I think it's an interesting theory. I feel like the president using it makes a little bit more sense than like an average celebrity to pretend to be another celebrity. Like, also then the other celebrity doesn't exist. Kind of like how Uncle Kelbo is Shakira. Like that. Why though? Like, I don't know. But let me know what you guys think about this theory. Honestly, the thought of people doing that all the time and using it for something dark or creepy freaks me out. But I don't feel like it's celebrities. Like, I feel like it would be like CIA agents or like something, some reason that they need to be going undercover. You know what I mean? Which that leads us to our next conspiracy theory, all about Michael Jackson. So we've talked about the idea of Michael Jackson being alive many times. It's a huge conspiracy theory that has been going on since the day he died, that people believe that Michael Jackson faked his death. I think that this new evidence that I saw was actually pretty interesting and probably the most damning piece that I've seen since ever researching it. So like we mentioned previously, Michael Jackson was known for wearing all these crazy prosthetics in his music videos, but also just to avoid the paparazzi and who knows what else. Honestly, this man has probably gotten away with using prosthetics multiple times in the public eye, just right beneath our noses, which is really freaky. Obviously, Michael Jackson was someone who had a shit ton of money and shit ton of access to the most incredible makeup artists in the world who would be able to make him look completely unrecognizable. So this conspiracy theory that Michael Jackson faked his death and is taking on a different persona has come up quite a bit, but this one was actually really interesting. Michael Jackson had a friend named Dave. Dave was someone who was lit on fire by his father. He had terrible burns and it was just a very scary situation, and Michael and him were actually friends and he helped him out and he helped pay for some of his surgeries. Dave went on the Larry King live show to talk about Michael after he died. A lot of people, like I'm telling you, a lot of people believe that this Dave on the Larry King Live show is actually Michael Jackson in disguise. I'm not really sure. It's like, obviously Dave is a real person, was a real person. He passed away sadly in 2018. So he definitely existed. Like, he was friends with Michael Jackson. There's proof of it. There's proof of them together. They were definitely friends. We'll say in this interview, he does sound exactly like Michael.
I felt a little tap on my shoulder, and I turned around, and there was Michael. And you know what, Larry? What? At that moment, we embraced, and that embrace never ended throughout our whole entire friendship.
So to me, the only explanation that makes sense is that perhaps Michael wanted to give one last interview. So he told his friend Dave, because in this theory, his close friends and family are aware he's still alive. And so he told his friend Dave, like, can you say that you're going to give an interview, but I'm actually going to go in the prosthetics made up to look like you and go give the last interview of my last time being seen by the public. I don't know. I mean, I think it's an interesting conspiracy theory, and I do feel like there is a certain energy of Dave in this interview that is a very similar likeness to Michael, but I also feel like they were friends, so maybe they just kind of talk similarly and act similarly. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't have an explanation for it because they sound so damn similar.
I believe what people fail to realize is that Michael was a human being. Michael was a great person. He has never hurt a soul. I am happy to have been his friend for all these years and been a dedicated friend.
I mean, I think it's a pretty interesting concept that whoever has faked their death in the celebrity world, which I truly believe Michael Jackson, Princess Diana, Tupac, and Elvis Presley are all part of that crew who have faked their death. I don't know why. I just genuinely believe that. But I think the concept that celebrities who fake their death essentially shapeshift every once in a while into different celebrities using prosthetics and makeup, it's an interesting concept. I mean, how else would they do it? It's not like they just like live their life locked up. Like, that would be crazy. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on this though, because I feel like something weird is definitely going on. I guess it's an interesting concept that like a politician could literally like die and be replaced by someone in a skin suit. It gets dark for sure. Let's get into our last conspiracy theory, which is all about Tom Cruise. There have been many conspiracy theories about Tom Cruise, mostly because of his involvement with the Church of Scientology. We have talked about the conspiracy theory just a little bit about how Tom Cruise actually would audition, well, not really Tom Cruise himself, but the Church of Scientology would actually audition girls to be Tom Cruise's girlfriends / wives. There's some interesting evidence that I have not talked about before, and it really freaked me out. Actress claimed that she was selected for a very important project, and then that ended up being to pretend to be Tom Cruise's new girlfriend. She was set up to date Tom Cruise from November of 2004 to January of 2005. Apparently, she told one of her friends that she was dating Tom Cruise, and as a punishment, she had to scrub toilets with a toothbrush, clean bathroom floor tiles with acid, and dig ditches in the middle of the night. Now, the Church of Scientology claims that this was not true, and they actually said, quote, "The church does not punish people, especially in that manner." And I'm just like confused why that was their only statement. Like, they didn't necessarily say that the fake girlfriend thing wasn't true. They just said that they don't punish people like that. What is that? Like, hello? Another strange thing about Tom Cruise is that all 3 of his wives he divorced when they were 33 years old. A lot of people think this has to do something with the church. They essentially control his love life and his general like public persona because of the message that they're trying to get out. They use Tom Cruise to do so. Katie Holmes also allegedly claimed that she divorced Tom because she wanted to keep their daughter Suri Cruise away from Scientology. No one's quite sure if this is actually true, but it is a very popular theory. Leah Remini, who is a active anti-Scientology speaker. She grew up in the Church of Scientology and she used to support it completely. She has spoken out against the abuse that she faced in the church, and she specifically claimed, quote, "Tom is aware of the abuse that goes on in Scientology and he's been a part of it." What's wild to me is I think when I did this first video on Tom Cruise and talked about the first conspiracy theory surrounding him, at the time when I filmed this video / my entire life, I thought that Tom Cruise has always been a Scientologist. I thought that he grew up in the church, kind of something that you don't just like fall into, I feel like. He actually only became a Scientologist after he married his wife, Mimi Rogers. And he really only got super into Scientology after Mimi Rogers and Tom Cruise got divorced in 1990. What's interesting is that Mimi Rogers actually left the church. So it's weird that like the person who got him into Scientology just left. Like, I have a lot of questions and not a lot of answers. I think that there is obviously something deeper going on with the church. I just feel like that's something most people believe. But I do feel like the celebrity kind of cult within the church has something deeper to it as well, because like there are a lot of celebrities who are a part of the Church of Scientology or who were. I don't know what I think is going on, but I also think that Tom's relationship with Nicole Kidman is one of the most interesting ones to look at, because when Nicole Kidman and Tom got together, he was a Scientologist, but he wasn't so like active about it, at least publicly, and I find that to be very interesting. Like, it was after their marriage where she like really knew what she was getting into, that this man was about to like publicly dump that he was like a part of this. Something about the photos of Nicole Kidman leaving her divorce settlement, like the final days of her divorce settlement, sigh of relief, you can feel it off of the photo, is so interesting because it's so clear to me that she was getting out of an awful relationship. It really does make you wonder what's going behind closed doors and if it has anything to do with the mysterious church that he's a part of. I don't know. Like I said, I trust Leah Remini. I don't know, based on what she said, I kind of believe that something deeper is going on. Something's weird. But that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about all these conspiracy theories, and if you have any pop culture theories you want me to talk about, or any celebrities in general you want me to find conspiracies on, let me know your favorite celeb in the comments below. That is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.